Returning to our top story this afternoon, Victoria has recorded another 4 COVID-19 infections, bringing a cluster in Melbourne's north to 9. Reporter Zalika Rismail joins us now with the details. Zalika, what more do we know about these cases?
Good afternoon. Well, the Health Department a short time ago confirmed these new 4 cases, as you said, bringing the total now to 9. Now, reassuringly, they are all household close contacts of that case that we learnt about earlier today. They are all in isolation. They're currently being interviewed. But just to recap on that 5th case, we learnt that this is a man in his 60s from the Whittlesea area. We know he was identified as a close contact of the first person who came forward as part of this outbreak. He's then tested positive. Now, we also know that genomic sequencing has found a link between all of these recent cases here in Victoria and the alert man who acquired the virus in hotel quarantine in Adelaide. So authorities at this stage believe that this 5th case, the case we learnt about earlier today, could be the source case of this outbreak. Now, they say that he's reported having symptoms before these other cases. They've even identified a day where they believe the transmission has occurred. But so there is evidence that this man could be the missing link. At this point, though, there are issues for investigators, primarily that they don't know how this man, what the link is between this man and the alert man. They say that based on the interviews that he's had so far, there is no overlap with the exposure sites. So there is quite a challenge still there, but that is the working theory. But at this stage, authorities have identified 168 primary close contacts now. 84 of those have come back negative, so that is good news. But we are expecting that, of course, with these interviews taking place, that will rise. We've also seen 19 exposure sites now identified. The Chief Health Officer this afternoon was quite optimistic about this 5th case, this man who's been infectious and has infected several people now. He said that based on these current interviews that there isn't a really extensive list of exposure sites. They've also taken a more fine-tooth approach to these to the High Point shopping centre. We know that the centre as a whole has now been downgraded to a Tier 2 site, but 5 stores have been identified as Tier 1 exposure sites. So the best thing that people can do is to go to the Health Department's website to find out exactly which sites they should be looking out for.
Zalika, what are the current restrictions? Is the government considering introducing additional measures after this afternoon's announcement?
The Chief Health Officer, Brett Sutton, was asked this afternoon when he appeared on local radio, and at this stage they are saying no, he doesn't believe that it's out of control at this stage. But we are, of course, seeing restrictions coming in within the next couple of hours in metropolitan Melbourne. So that, of course, includes the Mornington Peninsula. It doesn't include regional areas, places like Geelong. But here in Melbourne, we will be having to mask up again indoors from 6 p.m. We'll also see a cap on visitors to the home, 5 visitors daily allowed. Public gatherings will also be limited to 30 people. Now, hospitality density limits won't change. We'll also see venues like that hold weddings and funerals and that sort of thing. Those density limits won't change either. But at this stage, we are uncertain of what the impact will be on large public events like cultural events, football matches. We know that there is a public health panel currently looking at whether these things, whether measures need to be introduced, but at this stage we don't know of any changes there. We do know that the AFL has paused ticketing for this week's matches, but we're yet to see there. But in any case, it is a bit of deja vu here in Melbourne. We know that the authorities are doing all they can to get this under control. We're seeing testing sites expanded, 26 sites expanded, the Melbourne Showground site being expanded to 4 lanes, so it's a 4-lane drive-through there, and we're also expecting more pop-up sites to be announced as the days go on.
Yeah, let's hope this is not deja vu in its extreme kind of execution of what that might mean. Zalika, thank you. Zalika Rismail there.